Okay, we are continuing. We were busy with some examples on solving inequalities. So, and I remember mentioning something about do not change the sign, keep the sign. So I say something like do not change the sign, keep the sign. What I mean by that is that do not make a mistake by changing the inequality sign to an equal sign. Because the moment you do that, you will create linear equations, and you are being asked to solve what a linear inequalities and not a linear equation. So the moment you do that, you will be marked wrong. So keep the sign, the inequality sign. Do not change them to linear equations, as we are most used to solving linear equations, and in most cases we end up writing equal sign instead of inequality signs. So unless there is any question regarding the previous examples, we can move on to the class activity. So here's a class activity whereby we are supposed to solve for x in the following inequalities. So in A we have 5x minus 17 greater than 18. B we have 3 into negative x minus 2 greater than or equal to 4. And in C we have 5 into x minus 7 plus 4 less than 2x plus 5. Let's do the class activity. So here is the feedback to the class activity. It's a feedback. So in A we had 5x minus 17 greater than 18. And as I said, we solve linear inequality the same way we solve linear equations. So in A, we have to apply the concept of linear equations, whereby we have to transfer all the like terms on one side. We have to put all the like terms on one side. So we have 5x minus 17 greater than 18. So you have to transfer 17 to the other side. And remember, the moment you transfer a term from one side to the other side, the sign has to change. So in other words, like we are adding 17 on both sides. So we are adding 17 on both sides. That will be 5x greater than 35, because 17 plus 18 will give us 35. And the final answer will be x greater than 7. How did you get 7? You have to divide by 5. We need the value of x, isn't it? So we have to divide on both sides with 5 to get the value of x. In other words, we are isolating x. And so you have to keep the inequality sign. Do not make any mistake of writing equal sign here. And in B, we had 3 into negative x minus 2 greater than 4. And now here comes to we have to apply the concept of algebraic expressions, whereby we have to simplify this. First of all, before we transfer any term or before we move any term, we have to expand this. So we have to multiply everything inside here with the term outside. So that will give us negative 3x minus 6 greater than or equal to 4. We have to get all the right terms on one side, and therefore at this step here we are dividing with negative 3 on both sides, isn't it? And it says whenever you divide with a negative number, the sign has to change. That means you have to change the direction of the inequality sign. It was greater than or equal to, and now it comes less than or equal to. That's very much important. So whenever you multiply or divide with a negative number on both sides of an inequality sign, you have to change the direction of the inequality sign. So our final answer here will be x greater less than or equal to 10 over negative 3. And in C we have 5 into x minus 7 plus 4 less than 2x plus 5. You have to expand. Then after you correct your like terms, then you get all the like terms on one side, all the terms with x on one side and all the terms with constant on one side. You simplify, you add them, then you end up having 3x less than 36. We want the value of x, therefore we have to divide with 3 on both sides. That will give us the final answer of of x less than 12. That will be our final answer here. So that is the feedback. Unless there's any question, in the absence of questions, I can maybe just ask one of you to just to briefly tell us the difference between linear equations and linear inequality, how to solve them, all the steps we have learned today. Just someone to tell us in short. All right. So by now we should be able to solve linear inequalities. We should be able to perform all the three concepts involved in solving them. That is, we should be able to expand, simplify, and end up with a solution that we can be able to represent on a number line. And also, we should be able to know that whenever we divide with a negative number on both sides of an inequality, we have to change the direction of an equal sign, and do not make a mistake of changing the inequality sign to an equal sign. That would be wrong, very, very wrong. It will cost you mark. So with that, we came to the end of our lesson for today. Thank you for coming, and we'll meet again tomorrow.